The one thing that I've learned over time is you got to find out what makes your brand magnetic to make sure people understand it and that you're delivering it every single time.
Your business is missing out on an entire realm of sales just because of this one marketing tactic. Your brand isn't a habit, and that's what separates mediocre brands from successful ones. Starbucks made their transactions feel automatic, not exciting, but a habit, and an obligatory one at that. If you think this only has to do with coffee, you're wrong, because many other companies that don't sell coffee are using this exact same tactic to increase sales, revenue, and profits. In this video, we at Pink Studios will show you our exact formula to creating habit and making your payouts feel automatic as well. Most brands are trying to be creative. Starbucks is trying to be predictable. And predictability is what people trust when they're tired, stressed, late, and not thinking. What you want is that same exact trust. The purchases that happen instinctually. If you think Starbucks sells coffee, then this is where you're wrong. They sell a repeatable experience that people rely on. Every time you go, you can expect the same thing no matter the store. The same process, same ordering language, same cup, and same feeling. Imagine you're walking home at night. You're tired, and your brain isn't thinking, but instead relying on its backup function, prediction. Now you hear a sound behind you. If it's a sound you've heard 100 times, footsteps on that same loose grate, the same bus hiss, the same distant door slam, your body stays calm. You don't even look, because repetition tells your instincts, safe, normal, known. But if the sound is new, a rhythm you haven't heard before, a sudden scrape, something that isn't known, your chest tightens before you even think, and your system spikes. That's the rule your brain runs on. Repeatable equals safe. Unpredictable equals threat. Your brain doesn't trust what's best because it trusts what's familiar. And familiarity isn't logic, it's a feeling. That's why the strongest brands don't just repeat what they do, but instead they repeat the entire experience. Because your customer is looking for the option that feels safe, easy, and certain without thinking. That's the whole game and what we're going to teach you to replicate. Out of all the things you can repeat, there is one repetition that is crucial. You see in most prominent restaurants, the most addictive apps, and even in the most dangerous vices. And that is feeling, the repetition of feeling. Because habit is just a loop where the brain learns, when I do this, I get that feeling. And Starbucks does this exact loop, training to get people to crave the feeling of relief. If you want purchases to become automatic, you need 3 parts. First is the trigger. You as a company need to identify the need of your customer and the feeling they want, or the feeling they want to get rid of. Think of things like your customer being tired, overwhelmed, insecure, bored, or stuck. That moment is the spark, because your role as a business should already be to come and fix one of these issues. Without a trigger, there cannot be a habit. The second step is creating the habit itself. This is the tiny routine the customer repeats, not a huge journey or a complicated process, but a simple sequence they can do half asleep. Walk in, same order, same cup, same pickup. And Starbucks removes friction so the ritual is easier than thinking. By using predictable layouts, simple menus, and a convenient app, Starbucks became easy and habitual. Finally, you need to develop a reward or the feeling payoff. This is the part that most brands misunderstand. Because the reward isn't the product, but the feeling that arises right after. Coffee might be the vehicle, but the relief and tiredness being cured is the destination. And once the brain links trigger, ritual, and relief, you don't need to convince people anymore because they initiate themselves. Now here's the rule that separates Starbucks from everyone trying to copy it. If the reward isn't consistent, it doesn't work. If the experience changes every time, the brain can't predict it, and if the brain can't predict it, it won't trust it. And if they don't trust it, they won't repeat it. That's why creative brands often lose. They entertain and they try to reinvent the wheel. But the truth is this, it never works, because although entertaining people is important, the feeling patterns is much more important. People don't need something new. They just need something they can rely on. Starbucks installs a pattern, and you need to install this pattern too. So here's your practical question. What feeling does your customer come back for every time? Pick 1, not 5. And if you think this is only applicable to brands like Starbucks, here are examples to illustrate how other brands can do the same. A fitness brand can make someone feel like they're in control. Think Peloton or the Aura Ring. An agency can make their client feel like marketing isn't random. For skincare, the feeling of being clean. So develop what you want your client to feel, or customer, and then build the habit for them around delivering that feeling on schedule. Comment your business and your customer's trigger in one sentence. For example, I run a dental office, and the trigger could be people feel anxious and keep delaying. I'll reply with your trigger, a ritual, and the reward feeling you should engineer. Because once you design that feeling loop, you stop chasing attention. And once you stop chasing the attention, you can start building a habit.